Buddy, James here with Goings Enterprises LLC on the square in downtown Girard, Kansas. Hoping everybody's having a great Tuesday morning. It is January the 13th, 2026, and I'd like to welcome everybody to a new segment I kind of like to call, kind of workshopping this a little bit, but TED Talk Tuesdays. And TED Talk Tuesdays basically going to briefly talk about different things. It could be questions from you guys, whatever, but go into a little bit of detail about how certain things work. It could be anything from technology to so on and so forth, whatever you guys want to talk about. Today's topic, though, going back to the format of answering your questions, how did I start my company? How did Goings Enterprises LLC form? Well, I've had people for some reason think, oh, you must have inherited money, you must have come from money, you must have this, you must have that. Dude, I grew up poor. I grew up the kind of poor where we knew we were poor. I don't know if you've ever heard those old timer stories where the old timers like, oh, everybody was poor. We just didn't know it. We didn't know how poor we were because everybody made it work. No, we knew we were poor, and the town I grew up in, they made sure some of the kids I went to school with, they made sure I knew. So I decided at one point in my life, yeah, I didn't want that for my family. So, yeah, I did go to college, but the job market was so saturated, I could not find a job in uh, the degree that I had. And it wasn't some liberal arts degree or anything like that. It was electrical engineering. So when I first started school for electrical engineering, it was a hot ticket. It was supposed to be the biggest growing field at the time. I mean, hell, that's where our cell phones are coming from. All this technology, tablets, and all this stuff is coming from is electrical engineering, right? Uh, and my dream job was research and development at the time. So the second I graduated, the moment I applied for graduation and got together all my stuff and was ready and all excited to get my college diploma, uh, couldn't find a job. Just couldn't. And then come to find out, all those tech jobs were leaving our country. They were going overseas. No kidding. People can say what they want to, but this is what happened. All those jobs, and the ones that stayed here in the States, were going to the coast. Well, me living here in the center of the country, I mean, there literally wasn't anything. And at the time, I was as a new dad, I was raising a kid on my own and having to work full time, still trying to find these jobs, could not find them. So, yeah, did not grow up rich. I had to fight for everything that I have now. So, how did I start Goings Enterprises LLC? Well, in 2018, I had a falling out with a former employer and decided a lot of the stuff that I had accomplished for them that they were keeping credit for, I could do that crap on my own. So I had part of my last paycheck from them. I had $500 and an idea. And then a month or two later, I had a 3D printer, I had a utility patent, and I had my first customer. And that's where we started. It started out actually in the back part of our living room. Drove the wife nuts because she couldn't stand the smell of the plastic from the 3D printer. I totally get it. And then a couple years later, our garage was a mini factory. I kid you not. I had machines packed in there. And of course, at that time, I was also working a full time job while building my company. And that had to be a thing, unfortunately. And it didn't necessarily have to be a thing. It was a thing because I bowed down to pressure. I had nobody supporting me except my wife and my oldest son. Had no support really from anybody. Nothing but naysayers, surrounded by naysayers. In-laws were not real supportive. In fact, I got an hour lecture, trapped in a car with the mother-in-law, talking about how, oh, you're such a smart guy, you could be doing this, you could be doing that, you need to find a better job, and this and that, and working from home just isn't going to work out for you. Well, no, not to talk trash, not trying to stir drama, but I fought tooth and nail, working full time in my off hours from my regular job. I was working on this company, and sure enough, in a year after that, we needed more space and we had the money. So we purchased a 6,000 square foot facility, and that's where we're at now. We started under the name Goings Innovations. We still have the name Goings Innovations, but now Goings Innovations exists as a modular company under the umbrella of Goings Enterprises LLC, which incorporates 7 different companies that we have. There's all small companies. So when people ask me what I do for a living, I say I own a small business that just happens to own several other small businesses. But we do everything from working with brand new business owners, getting them in the black and keeping them there. We do creative marketing with our marketing company. We do manufacturing with our manufacturing company. For our clients, we can manufacture their merchandising and stuff like that. We manufacture our own merchandising. We sell things. We used to sell things all over the world, but the last couple years, it's gotten ridiculously expensive, if I can talk. And I don't know if y'all have figured out yet. Sometimes I have trouble speaking on the draw. It's the I don't know crossover between being on the spectrum and having conversations in my head multiple times before the words start spilling out. Some of those get kind of locked together, and I'll start with one word and end with another, and have to correct myself. But anyway, so yeah, we do everything from working with our clients. This year, we are actually working more on doing business support for our clients and new clients. We are doing taxes for people and stuff like that. Oh, sounds like a bit of a collapse back in the manufacturing area. I'll have to check out here in a minute. But we do, of course, one of our biggest brands is Goings Gourmet, which we do jams, jellies, sauces, syrups, candies, freeze dried stuff. We even do hardtack. In fact, this segment is brought to you by Goings Gourmet Fudge. We have multiple flavors of fudge. This is 8 ounces. That's a half a pound of a solid slab of fudge. We sell this stuff constantly. I lost track of how many pounds and pounds of this stuff that we sold just over the holidays. Um, we can do just about any flavor you can imagine, and we've had requests for gross stuff too. We try to stay away from the gross stuff and try to keep it palatable, but any fruit flavors, any candy flavors you can think of, chances are we can do it. We've done everything from, believe it or not, anise flavor, the licorice flavor, to one of our more popular ones is milk chocolate with walnuts. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's TED Talk Tuesday. Love y'all. Be good to each other. Take care of each other. Let's try to do a little bit of our part each day if we can to make the world, at least around us, a better place. Love you. I'm Merch Links and Bio. Hope to see y'all later. Bye.